And welcome in live to a Tuesday edition of the Backstage Pass. Of course, the final few weeks of shows, or few days of shows, I should say, before we take a little break for the holidays. And of course, happy holidays to everyone out there for 2021 as we wind down another year and get ready for 2022, which is a big year for everybody out there, I know. And of course, the music business and us here at the Backstage Pass. Some surprise guests coming up. You won't want to miss some shows. We've got scheduled already for January of 22. Brandon Morrell, Jeff McMahon back here in the saddle as always here on the Backstage Pass presented by our good friends over at MitchMax.com. Hank Jr. Productions, and of course, our whiskey, your whiskey, Bangtail Whiskey out there. Check them out at bangtail.com or that Easy Liquor app. And yeah, there's still some bottles available. Get you one for the holiday season so you and your friends can sit around that campfire and drink a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to have some later tonight, as I always do. Pleased to welcome in a great Texas artist that we found him just a few days back. And I said, yeah, we got to have this, man. And I do this sometimes. I love to slow dance in the kitchen. So you know where I'm going with this as one of his singles off his 2018 self-titled album. Mike Donnell joins us here on the show. Mike, what's up, man?
Hey, how are y'all?
Good, man. Doing good. And just pleased to have you here. No doubt. We're going to talk a lot of music and a lot of all kind of things, man. We just never know what we're going to talk about here on the show. Definitely the music. And the Veer is out there right now. Volume 2 is a 3-song EP you can go get across all the platforms. Hey, let's start, I guess, your background because I love it. First of all, thank you for your service in the Marines. I know you're right there out of high school back in 2002. Music was always a passion. Tell me about this story, how definitely showing the patriotism and the love for your country and putting that first and kind of putting music second. And now music's kind of like, you're calling there too at the same time. I'm sure, mixing these two was tough, but one had to kind of be over the other coming out of high school. Tell me all about your story, Mike.
Well, I mean, I've sang and played guitar my whole life, but, after high school, I was one of those people that had the realization that I just can't run off to Nashville and live on hopes and dreams or whatever else. And I went to the military, joined the Marines right out of high school. After 9/11, me and a bunch of my buddies, 9/11, we were right there at that age. So we're kind of, we got defensive about it. We went off and ran over to Afghanistan, kicked some butt, man. And then I did a tour to Iraq. And both of those times, I just kind of spent that time when I wasn't on patrols or whatever, kicking doors and fixing trucks. We were playing guitar and singing. And one of the houses that was abandoned there in the city of Fallujah had an old Jasmine guitar in it. It's kind of like a Takamine knockoff. But that's where I figured out how to play guitar. I really perfected my skill, and when I came back and got out, I had that concrete background behind me to fall back on in case music didn't, fly. But so far, man, it's doing pretty good. I've been playing professionally for 13 years now, and I've played with anybody who's anybody and all over the state of Texas. So I'm having fun doing it.
So you were not a guitar player until you found that guitar and learned over there in Fallujah?
I've had a guitar my whole life, and I've played. You get Enter Sandman, stuff like that. There's a few things that you can play, but really it's not much. You can't read tabs or music or play any song complete from front to back. But when I got overseas, you got a lot of free time, so you figure out different chords, or you run to the internet cafe, which at the time, like now, everybody's got internet in their freaking tents over there. It's crazy. But when I was over there, you had to hike your butt 4 miles up the road in Fallujah with full flak Kevlar, weapon and everything, stand in line for 2 hours just to get 15 minutes of Google and MySpace. And you get on there and you say how to play this, how to play that. I write the tabs down in my handy dandy notebook.
Right.
I hike my butt back across Fallujah and sit there on the guitar all night, try to figure it out.
So was that, not to drill down too far into this one thing, but I mean, you talked about having to kind of make the choice. You can't just go to Nashville. So you went, you pursued the military first.
Right.
Now, is there an element where you didn't take a guitar with you? I don't even know if you could have, but
I didn't take a guitar the entire time.
You didn't take one, but is finding it a little bit of an affirmation kind of thing?
Yeah, I guess it's your sign,
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like I've always been a singer. I don't know if I'm good or not, but I've always sang my whole life. And, that guitar was just like a perfect opportunity for me to really develop those skills, which I had never done in the past. And I mean, you're just stuck in a building for 20 hours a day when you're not on patrol, and you figure it out, man. You figured out how to play guitar. And when I got back, I knew just enough chords to be dangerous. And I put out a Craigslist ad and found a couple good dudes, and we started cutting some LPs, man. I've cut 3 LPs and 2 or 3 EPs and then 4 or 5 singles by now. So
That's a good thing, no doubt. And never giving up on that dream is pretty awesome out there to just see it through and definitely do kind of what destiny has called you to do out there. Hey, tell me about this because, like I said, it's kind of cool that you put that out there and you definitely have all the great music, but it's also cool to draw the attention of some reputable media out there. My good friend Justin, he runs ProCountryMusic.com. And I'm going to quote him, and I love this quote because I talked to him just the other day. He said, Mike brings that bigger stadium rocking sound to his music. And then I love this quote in Voyage Houston magazine, powerhouse vocals and band to go with it. When you get some of that attention from outside peers, media like us and that kind of thing, draw that attention to you, what comes to mind as you receive that information?
I'll tell you, I was just thinking about this earlier. Today's kind of special. Not only do I got this kick butt interview here, but I just got a show with Neil McCoy, direct support, in April of next year. And they're coming in slowly but surely. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time, and I don't take just any show anymore. I'm over just playing the hole in the wall because I need to play every Friday night. I'm tired, and I'm really only choosing as much quality as I can. I feel like that's important to the next step. And the more that I get these quality shows, the more I get the attention of peers like y'all and Pro Country and Voyage Houston and everybody doing these press releases on me. It recharges your batteries, man. It makes you, because I get down on myself like anybody else, but when you get something like that happen, it's like, you know what? I'm doing all right.
And working with Neil will be a kick too. I don't know if you've worked with him before, but he's a friend of the show as well as a friend of mine as a musician and a Texan as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
So definitely pay attention while you're out there, because you can learn a lot from that fella for sure.
I do every time I step on the same stage as some of these guys, man.
Yeah. Hey, something else. We were talking before the show, man. I definitely want to see you play this because, man, it's been a long time since I've been over to Green Hall, and everybody knows the oldest dance hall in Texas, no doubt, hands down. They put up great shows every night. I think through the holidays, they're going up to like December 24th or something like that. And of course, taking Christmas off. But this weekend, and a guy you're wearing the shirt of right there, we're talking about before the show, William Clark Green, who's another Texas legend down here. Hope to get him on in January of the upcoming year. Just talk about just what that means and what it would mean to you one day to step on the Green Hall level, no doubt.
That's one of my dream stages for sure. But I have several. It's not the only one. It is important to me as a Texas country musician, and just like everybody else, it's like a big milestone. Hey, I played Green Hall. I've made it. I'm there. But another one for me, and probably a bigger one for me, is Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. Yeah. Because that's where I saw my first concert, and that's where that fire got lit at, it was Aerosmith in 2000. I was a sophomore in high school, and just seeing Steven up there doing his thing and the way that the crowd was reacting to him, and he can sing his butt off, man. And I was just like, this is it. This is what I want to do, guys. I told my friends, I'm going to be on that stage one day. And they were like, okay, buddy, sure. I still haven't been on that stage, but I ain't quit yet either. So that's how I feel about Green Hall.
And Aerosmith was my first show as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, they've been around a long time.
78, 70. Hey, been around a long time. What are you trying to say there? No. And they're still killing it. Killing it. They're not phoning in we'll go because we have to, because we want. I mean, they're still great. I've seen them recently.
So. To chime back in on Green Hall, every time I turn around, there's one of my musician buddies playing Green Hall, like a guy that's filled in for me here, or somebody that even opened for me before. Just congrats to those guys. And every time I turn around, there's somebody I know on a personal level playing Green Hall. So I think I'm getting pretty close.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you step on that stage, brother, you let me know. We'll definitely have to be there too, because it's been a long time since I've been to a show out there, but they just keep putting them together. And I love going to San Antonio because I've got family up there. It's just that extra. After you drive about 4.5, 5 hours, you're like, I want to go the extra 45 minutes out of the way to the and I'm going to get out there at some point in 2022. Hey, before we have you play one for us here on the show, if you don't mind playing a couple for us today, talk to me about your self-titled album in 2018, because that really kind of got you at another level that a lot of people were especially charting on Texas radio, Texas Regional Radio Report with you, and then of course the one that really fell in love with too, because I guess I do a lot of that with the wife sometimes. Slow Dancing in the Kitchen. We were talking a little bit before the show. Tell me about putting that album together, and then of course the reaction the fans got for country music, yours and some other outside fans that became first-time Mike Donnell fans.
I think that album got me more fans outside of Texas than it did inside of Texas. Just when I look at the analytics, you know, especially on the East Coast all the way up to New York, man, that was just lighting up. And I wrote that album about the time that everybody was saying, man, don't cut an LP. It's a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
You can only promote one song at a time to radio. You can only promote one song on Spotify curated playlist. And it's just a waste of time to do this and that. But I really was sold on that album, and the way that everything went together is kind of like a story. It tells a story for me. And I just said, screw it. I put it out, and that's been it was kind of a turning point for me to get on some bigger stages, and a lot of radio got behind me after With You. Ed Spacek pushed that one, and it didn't make, top 20, but I think it hung around the top 50 spot for 22 weeks, which I'm not mad about that, man. That's stay power right there. And that established a good name. So I was able to follow it up. I put Slow Dance in the Kitchen out to radio. I put Girl in a Bar out to radio, and Dylan Steen worked that one. He's a monster when it comes to radio promotions too. So I've yet to work with the radio chick, but I hear good things. I mean, she's got a bunch of big players.
Yeah, she does. It's Miss Tammy Millspaw, a good friend of the program here too, that gets a lot of the Texas artists we do down here, such as Aaron Watson, Kevin Fowler, and of course a whole bunch more. At least knows how to direct us into getting to those shows out there too. At the same time too, man. Yeah, I mean, Slow Dance in the Kitchen just had that good vibe and just that upfield alternative country kind of that rock kind of mixed to it too at the same time. I thought your vocals were really good to it. What kind of led that one to be the inspiration? And I'm sure that was one you had a hand, because you write most of your music, right?
I write all my music. I've never had anybody write something for me. So
I love that too. Now, the idea of Slow Dancing in the Kitchen, was it one of those things that just kind of those weird times that song came to mind, or were you doing something, or was it kind of a close kind of personal contact for you on that one?
It was it was close and personal. I was standing in the kitchen, and it was late at night, and I think I was pouring myself a glass of tequila. Okay. And my wife, at the time, I don't even think we were married yet, but I looked over at her and I told her how beautiful she was, and she was like, "You're just drunk," and I was like, "No, no, she didn't say that." But she said, "Love looks good on you, baby," and I was like, all right. So that kind of, spawned that idea of several songs on that album, including Love Looks Good on You. And, we do a little bit of slow dancing in the kitchen here and there, but most of my ideas stream from her. So it's good because my first album was quite depressing. When I was Mike Donnell Band, I wrote a lot of those songs after, a lot of damage in my life. And so and not a lot of them were happy. And then the second, that self-titled LP was after I met my now wife, and most of those songs are happy. So it's good to be in a better place.
Nice.
I love it too. It's good stuff. It's great out there too. And of course that's wherever you stream out there too. Well, I tell you what, let's have you play one for us here on the show. Let's do it, man. And I always say dealer's choice. And if you got so many great songs out there, I could handpick 4 or 5 right now, but I would just say your choice, my friend. Go for it.
All right. Let's see here. Can y'all hear me good?
We can. Sure can.
Baby, I know that I ain't perfect. In fact, I'm the farthest thing from that. I ain't rich and I ain't tall. I ain't got nothing at all. So I'll never understand why you wanna call me baby. How I landed such a lady. The good Lord shorted to me right when he brought you to my show that night. I was lost, broken, and shattered. None of that even matters anymore, because the man I am with you is better than the one I was before. I was at a point in my life, I kind of lost faith in anything real. You showed up, and then somehow I had walls for days, but you knocked them down, and still I'll never understand why you wanna call me baby, how I landed such a lady. The good Lord sure did do me right when he brought you to my show that night. I was lost, broken, and shattered, but none of that even matters anymore, because the man I am with you is better than the one I was before. Better than the man I was before. Why you wanna call me baby, how I landed such a lady. But good Lord sure did do me right when he brought you to my show that night. I was lost, broken, and shattered, but none of that even matters anymore, because the man I am with you is better than the one I was before. I'm better than the man I was before. Yeah. Yeah, man.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-hosts Kirsty Krause, Jeff McMahon, and Karen Lee Batten as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And doing that here with Mike Donnell here on the Backstage Pass. Again, thanks to MitchMax.com and Bangtail Whiskey. And, of course, our good friends over at Hank Jr. Productions. Back here, Jeff and Brandon. And that's where I say, Mike, I just got to get to a concert and I hear you sing the entire album. Of course, that was off the self-titled album and a great single with you across all the digital platforms. Love the song. Great performance.
Before we leave that first album, and I know even what you talked about with the Mike Donnell band stuff and how you were kind of in a different place. But first of all, I want to make sure that everybody knows they need to search Mike Donnell band if they want to find Mary Did You Know, right?
Yeah.
Which
I dropped the band several months after that. So
right. But if they're looking for it, they may
Correct.
be finding that as band.
Correct. So
Right.
there's two different artists, Mike Donnell band and then Mike Donnell. I tried to merge the two on all the platforms, but everybody was giving me such trouble saying that it's two different artists now. So that's just where I'm at.
Yeah. And then with that album that you just played those from, I want to ask about Bullet Train, because I've not heard you live, but I get the idea that that's, you know, it was your first release to radio, right? You first activity on Texas radio. It seems a little bit like it's one of your tentpole songs. Probably it makes it into every show. Maybe
it is the tentpole song.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and because I've always thought, and I want you to answer this, because I've never served in the military. I've put in a lot of miles on the road, and the idea of that song, you know, the idea of being out on duty, on task,
Right.
on mission, on whatever, and now you get to go home, and that's the bullet train to get back to
Right.
where you want to be. I have always perceived the music business more similar to the military than a lot of people think about, because the purpose is clear, the mission is clear, you know exactly what you're trying to do out there, and you've got this point of focus, but when you're done, you're done.
You're right. That's
Yes?
exactly right. So I did that. I did write that song in Afghanistan. Those lyrics were in my binder when I got back, and I said, you know what, I need to start writing some music here and putting it to music. But I did not put it to music until I got back to the States. And when I did, that song was the first song on, we just released a 1,000 Miles an Hour EP, which is the first three songs that I came up with in, like, oh man, 2010 or something like that. And those songs, Bullet Train was on there. I pushed that to radio, and it actually hit top 20 briefly, and it got picked up by I was picked up by a sponsor called Grunt Style Clothing, and they have a very, very big social media presence. So they actually launched that video for me, the music video, and in the first 24 hours, it got 80,000 views, which inevitably led to about 6,000 of those people going to download the song. More people downloaded back then than they did stream.
Sure.
So they went and downloaded the song, which overnight made us, you know, $5,500 just on that one release, on that one song. And so that gave me enough money to get back in the studio, finish the LP, and I actually picked up a small trailer so we could hit the road too. Just based off that one song that started my band. Yeah, started my career. Yeah.
Congratulations to you, no doubt. Hey, tell me about this one, because I know a lot of artists have been busy doing a lot of singles, and you guys have been busy this year as we close this year. But the reaction from "I Can't Keep My Eyes Off You," tell me about that one.
Well, I wrote that one about the day me and my wife got married. And I just wanted to break down that day because it was a very special day for both of us. And I wanted to break down that day and kind of paint a picture around it. But I think the music video did that justice, because when we went back, I contacted the farmhouse where we got married at. And I said, hey, I wrote this song about the day we got married. Me and my wife got married. I'd really like to come back there and shoot it in your chapel with the same tuxedo I got married in. And so we did. And I also own a videography company, so I shoot all my own music videos. And, you know, my wife was working the camera, and I was up there on the altar playing this song that I wrote for her in the chapel that we got married in. And then I used our B-roll footage from the wedding to chop into that video. So that's what that one's cool.
Love it, man. Love the good stuff right there.
Thank
and
you.
I tell you, another one that caught my attention too out there too. A lot of people on that self-titled album you put out there in 2018, Mr. Wrong. You know, just the title of it just kind of was just on point with it. Tell me about this one.
This one's, like I said, I don't know how much research y'all did on me, but I can be quite controversial. And I've been, let me just put it, I've been in Facebook jail for 4 months this year alone. So anyway, but this song is another good example or instance of me not being able to bite my tongue. You know, every time you get on Facebook or any social media site, there's not just girls, it could be guys too, but everybody's complaining. There's no good people left in this world. Everybody's trash, you know, this and that. Well, how about y'all just hook up? Because both sides always say that. And here I am looking at all this. I see, you know what? I'll write a song about it. So that's focused at those party type girls that go out till 3 o'clock in the morning and, you know, close down the bar on a Tuesday, end up throwing up in the parking lot, and then want to stroll into whatever relationship is convenient for them because they're too afraid to be alone. And, you know, it hurts feelings. It doesn't get me any good attention. I don't even know why I'm saying it right now. So.
Social media, like I said, can make or break out there. No doubt about it.
There goes all my female fan base. Thank you.
Well, I tell you what, I love what you guys did going back in there and putting together this volume 2 for the Veer out there, which is the EP across all the platforms. Talk about this one. I know 3 songs, always fun. The one that definitely caught my attention, they all did, Stuck With Me, Example Man, and of course Rewind. Tell me about Rewind.
Well, I want to back up a little bit there.
Okay.
And start with the Veer Volume 1. The Veer
Volume 1, okay. All right.
Was when I wrote those songs, they were big, heavy. They had that big Nashville sound to it, but I tried to stay true to country roots and Texas roots and stuff. At the same time, it's just impossible to please everyone. But those coming off of those 3 songs, I said, man, I want to do a polar opposite. and at the time, my band was we were big on the party scene and big dance halls and clubs and stuff. And I said, I want to do something completely opposite. I want to strip it down and go back to the basics of songwriting and write something that means something. You know, a song with some backbone, a song with a story behind it. And it was hard for us to make that transition, but those songs that's where the Veer Volume 2 came from. Stuck With Me is kind of pays homage to an old George Strait song. And it tells a story about how several instances people don't give up on one another because of love. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I really wanted to tell that story. So that's where that one was. Example Man is a story about a father who inevitably ends up letting his family down because of alcoholism or, you know, his vice or anything. And I thought, man, this is a great story worth telling. You know, it sucks to write some dark things like that, but I've never been one to shy, to steer clear of ripping the truth off. So I thought that's a good story to get out because, you know, I drank as a Marine, but I'm government trained, so don't try this at home. But, you know, it's always been a fear of mine to become like that, to be one of those people that puts your vice in front of your family, because people do it every day, man. They throw away some beautiful things because they can't let go of addiction or alcoholism or something, you know. But yeah, and Rewind it's my wife's favorite song that I've ever written, she says. Even all the other songs I wrote about her, but you know, technically I did write this one about her too. But I think I'm going to take this music video in a different story. So if you haven't, go listen to Rewind right now, y'all. And it's there's so many songs out there about, you know, God bless the broken road. I wish I wouldn't change a single thing that happened in my past because it led me here to you. Well, I wanted to kind of take that, but twist it and turn the anger up about, you know, why did I have to go down that road? I should have just found you in the first place, and I wouldn't have had so many broken hearts, or you wouldn't have had to go through all the pain that you went through if God would have just gave us one another from the start. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's where I went with that.
I loved it too. That's a great song, no doubt about it. I love the EP out there too at the same time. And I'm gonna back up one here. I tell you what, I'm gonna hold this talking point until I come back. I'll have you play one, and I'm gonna talk about Puzzle Piece here in a little bit from Volume 1 out there from the Veer, because I loved everything about Puzzle Piece. So let's have you play one more. We'll come back and jump into a little bit of Volume 1, and of course we still got rapid fire ahead with Mike Donnell, and I believe the website MikeDonnellMusic.com. Is that correct out there for everybody to definitely do some streaming and do some digging here? The holiday season's still up, so get you one of those gift cards from iTunes and go shopping. Why not?
Yeah, please do. All right, since you keep talking about this one so much. Slow dancing in the kitchen got me so in love. Top of your lungs, singing in your truck. All them silly things you do. I can't believe it, I'm with you. Here she comes, rolling out of bed. Goofy smile and that messed up hair. Freckles popping, but she don't care. She's mine, all mine. I gotta be the richest man I know, 'cause she's a diamond even with your eyes closed. The kind of girl you can't let slip by. You better grab her tight and sway side to side. Slow dancing in the kitchen got me so in love. Top of your lungs, singing in your truck. All them silly things you do. I can't believe it, I'm with you. The way that you stare when I play my guitar, that look in your eyes, it just melts my heart. I'm loving this life we're living. Slow dancing in the kitchen. You know I love it when you get fixed up, sexy dress and get your hair done. Out on the town just having fun, but ain't nothing like staying in. My favorite outfit that you got is them PJ shorts and that Cali tank top. Got everything that I need right here in this bed, baby, come on. Slow dancing in the kitchen got me so in love. Top of your lungs, singing in your truck. All them silly things you do. I can't believe it, I'm with you. The way that you stare when I play my guitar, that look in your eyes, it just melts my heart. I'm loving this life we're living. Slow dancing in the kitchen. Yeah. dancing in the kitchen got me so in love. Top of your lungs, singing in your truck. All them silly things you do. I can't believe it, I'm with you. The way that you stare when I play this guitar, that look in your eyes, it just melts my heart. I'm loving this life we're living. Slow dancing in the kitchen, yeah. Just me and you, girl. Slow dancing in the kitchen, yeah. Slow dancing in the kitchen.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Gotta love some Mitch Max here. Throw some paint on the wall. That's like slow dancing in the kitchen, man. That's just good down home Texas country music right there. That's just love that stuff right there.
How is throwing paint on the wall like dancing in the kitchen?
Well, depends on how hard you're dancing, man.
There you go.
I guess.
It's a mosh pit sometimes.
I guess it is.
Be sure to check
in the kitchen. That don't work.
That don't work. No. But I will tell Mike a story off air that I'm not going to say on air where that could be comparable to, no doubt. Back here on the show, Jeff, Brandon, of course, Mike Donnell here. Check him out at MikeDonnellMusic.com. And that's one of my favorites. And I'll tell you, man, driving down the interstate at like 75 or 80, playing that's like roll down the window. It's just a great Texas country song.
Yeah, we definitely pushed the tempo on that one.
Yeah, y'all sure did, man. I love that too at the same time. Hey, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire. Now, I know, Jeff, you got a little rapid fire question. I'm going to let you start this thing.
I had a couple of things. First of all, I mean, he jumped straight into recording after he got back from the military. So he's clearly committed to his music and committed to his country. But if people aren't paying attention to his TikTok, the boy's committed to his TikTok. Mm-hmm. I saw two of them that I especially appreciated. One was the one with the hot girl that you put to work out in the field,
I thought got 2.8 million views across all platforms.
Wow! So I love that, but recognizing that you're juggling multiple careers. Where are your colleagues when you are singing Chris Stapleton at the top of your lungs because of the reverb in the studio?
There was nobody in the bathroom that day, and it wasn't in the studio. It was in the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, when you walk into one of those bathrooms and you're like, man, this reverb's amazing. Anybody in here? No.
Yeah.
Bust it out, man.
Yeah. I'm wondering how many people are like,
I know. I thought it would be a funny TikTok to have 3 people in the bathroom and all of them sing the harmonies. You know,
they could all open the doors to their stalls at the right time.
Right, exactly right. But you know, be clothed or something.
Yeah.
But TikTok for me was an escape from Facebook because I spent so much freaking time in jail on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of TikTok. I wasn't a fan of TikTok even 6 months ago, but it's taken me 10 years on Facebook to get 20,000 followers, and I got 40,000 on TikTok in 6 months.
Wow!
So it's just a more friendly platform for people like us, and especially for people like me with my hardcore point of view. So
sure.
Yeah, I won't give too much away here on the show, but if anybody wants to either love me a lot or hate me a lot, go check out my TikTok.
I'll have to do that too.
Well, and the I feel like this is too much of an easy question, but I do kind of want to get your spin because I read that you are somewhat of a Marvel fan, right?
I am. Yeah. Oh yeah. Marvel and DC, more Marvel.
I think to ask you Team Cap or Team Iron Man is too easy because I think that would be.
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
I don't like. If it comes down to Civil War, is what you're talking about, I would be Team Cap because I don't agree with the micromanagement that Tony just eagerly signed over. So, you know, he could be controlled by the big government, and that's kind of where I'll stop on that.
Yeah.
I've worked for the military. I've been employed by government for a long time. And when it comes down to them micromanaging my life these days, it ain't going to happen, Bubba. So,
yeah. No, that's
Where are you with all the other stuff that's come out, the Loki and the Hawkeye and
I already watched it all. We're up to date on Hawkeye. Yep.
Yeah. You're current?
We're up to date. We're up to date on all that. I got my wife into it. She's not big. She's not a big Marvel or even action movie fan, but I make her watch it. I'm like, all right, well, you play on your phone. I'll just turn this on. And in 5 minutes, she'll be like, whatever, I'm not watching. 5 minutes later, she's like,
Yeah.
I got her into it.
She's there. She's there.
She's following up now. She's like, what's happening next time on Hawkeye?
Right.
And hey, the new one, speaking of this week too, it's going to be probably #1 over Christmas and through the holidays, and at least a little bit into January. The new Spider-Man is Friday this week too. You looking forward to it? You going to be there opening night?
No, I don't do opening night stuff. I don't. This is going to sound very, very strange and probably a bit pretentious, but I don't actually like crowds, man. I don't like being in big crowds. More of a country boy. I try and stay out on my property, and you got to, like I always say, you got to pay me to go inside the loop.
Right.
inside 610 loop, because I just don't like being around crowds. So I'll give it a week or two until it dies down, and then me and my daughter will go see it. So
that's good stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff. Comes out this week. All right, so let me ask you this one. We'll stay with rapid fire here. Game show. Could be a contestant on anything out there, game show wise. What would you choose?
I don't. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Because I'd love to be a millionaire.
What?
Other than that, man, I guess The Voice. Although I'm not big on singing game shows, because I've seen that contract, and I know people personally that have even won The Voice, and man, that contract's a workhorse, dude. It's not fun.
Yeah, I've heard people say the same thing too, no doubt. Yep.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't really watch a lot of game shows. What's that? Who Wants to? God, I can't remember the name of it now. I'm sure my wife's in the other room. She's going to tell me. But it's one of those shows where they get on there, and we asked America, and America said, they voted on that thing.
Family Feud.
Family Feud.
Yeah,
there you
fun.
go. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like
fun.
that one too. All right. More of a cook or more of takeout, or kind of favorite dishes that you like to kind of go to? What's the food and drink go to?
Fajitas and Ritas. Yeah, fajitas and margaritas. That's my thing, man. But I do cook. I cook a lot. When I do, let's see, last night we just made chicken marsala with penne Alfredo and some garlic bread. So, we do decent meals, but for the most part, if we're going out to eat, fajitas and Ritas, baby.
Fajitas and Ritas.
See, that's really too bad, because I had some chicken fried steaks with mashed potatoes and green beans working back here. I had it all ready
really
for you.
Meal. Every time I go to Do-si-do and I play at Do-si-do, that's my favorite thing to get.
Yep.
It's good food, no doubt. In Texas
food.
That's a Texas boy. That's a Texas boy.
Yeah.
Hey, behind you, I noticed 2 beautiful guitars there hanging on the wall too at the same time. Any good stories with those guitars? I love those behind you. 3 of them actually. Yeah.
Oh man, I got too many guitars to count, dude. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that Strat here in the middle, the baby blue one. That was a wedding gift from my wife. It's a limited edition baby blue Strat. The one here, this gold, is from my stepdad, and that was a present. Can you see it?
I sure can. That one to the left there.
Yeah. The telly there on the other side is when I was playing lead. That was kind of my go-to guitar for playing lead, because I like that. It's got a little bit of a warmer sound, and it's poppier than a Strat, But now I just hire people to do all the fancy lead stuff, because I'm not good enough to do it, and I stick to my acoustics. my Tobacco Burst Martin flat is just one of my new favorites. It's just perfect, man. And I got a Taylor over here and a Dean over here, and I could take y'all on a tour sometime. My Donnell crib.
That'd be good.
Well, okay, so it is getting close to Christmas, and I know sometimes people get Christmas gifts early, but you were commenting behind you on the gift that your wife delivered to you that was baby blue. Is there anything else that has arrived at the house recently that might have been baby blue?
Baby boy 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
My son Grayson Sawyer was just born 2 weeks ago, and he's beautiful and perfect in every way. And he's in the other room right now. He was just screaming a minute ago. I'm surprised you didn't hear him.
He's singing. He's singing.
He's exercising his vocal cords.
Yeah, he's doing his warm-ups.
That's right.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
One day he'll be slow dancing in the kitchen to daddy's music, and there you go. So he'll be
I hope
taking over.
so. My daughter's 13 now, and she's too cool to sing with me anymore. I got a bunch of videos where I taught her to harmonize at a very young age, like 6 or 7. She was harmonizing with me, and we were making fun videos. But now she's like, "No, Dad, stop." Yeah, she's too cool for school.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I love the story, man. Just again, thanks for the service, the military, and then putting two passions together that you really are true and near and dear to your heart, my brother. And I tell you, man, just congratulations on all the hard work, success, and definitely may it continue into 2022. Mike, appreciate you being on the show, and hey, come back anytime, make time for us. Hope you had a great time, and happy holidays to you.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it a lot.
You got it. MikeDonnellmusic.com, and the Veer Volume 2 EP is out there, of course, and Volume 1 is out there for your purchase or streaming pleasure. And, of course, tomorrow we'll come back with some more great shows. And a big surprise coming up on Thursday that Jeff and I, well, Jeff more than myself, put together too. We'll talk more about that as the week kind of goes on too, with some little holiday cheer we get to spread as we go out this week on Friday, coming up here this week too as well. Also, David Nail will not take place this week. We'll look forward to talk to David hopefully sometime in 2022. A little schedule conflict. We'll get through that too. Again, thanks to all the sponsors. We'll see you guys on the Backstage Pass tomorrow. Nashville artist Isaac Cole coming on. Looking forward to that one too as well. We'll talk to you guys soon. And don't forget today, we'll put together a great show. Tomorrow, Outlaw Fantasy comes out with myself and CJ Garton. We'll see you guys real soon here on the Backstage Pass. Again, happy holidays. We'll talk soon. Take care. Have a great night.